Here's the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs win the World Series. Bryant makes the play. It's over. And the Cubs have finally won it all. 8-7-10.
Welcome to Club 120. The ultimate roundtable for diehard Cubs fans and lovers of all things sports and lifestyle.
Strike three, you're out.
Hosted by Neil and Nate, two former baseball players and coaches turned loud mouths with strong opinions and even stronger banner. Get ready for quick-hitting, time-answer segments packed with wit, laughs, and the occasional heated debate. From analyzing Cubs on-field action to diving into off-field drama, no topic is off limits. So grab your glove, pour a drink, and pull up a seat at Club 120, where the banner's quick, the takes are hot, and the Cubs always come first. Let's get started.
Play ball.
Hello, Cubs friends. It's 120. You know what that means. It's time to grab an old style and a bleacher seat. You're in Club 120. Let's talk Cubs. I'm Nate, and with me as always is a man who believes the best taco is the Oppo taco. Neil, what's on today's lineup card?
Yeah, I appreciate it, Nate. And hey, you go Oppo with some salsa and a side of slugging percentage. I'm all in. Big thanks to everybody tuning in, whether you're streaming in the bleachers, the bullpen cart, or your favorite taco joint. We really do appreciate you tuning in. Today's show is packed. We're talking Slump Busters, a long-awaited reinforcements heading back to Wrigley, and whether Ian Happ is the unexpected leadoff that can save us all. We'll also dive into Matt Shaw heating up again, Baseball Tonight's new baseline claim for the Cubs, and a massive 8-game homestand that might just be the spark we need. So let's fire it up. Let's start with one thing Cubs fans are all looking for this time of year, and that is any sign of light, or sign of life, I should say. Nate, you got any slump busting cures up your sleeve?
Oh, man. Where are the bats? I don't know, man. How do 9 guys go cold at the same time? It's crazy. As a player, I used to sleep with my bat. That was an easy one, right? But I wouldn't recommend it if you're heavy on the pine tar. So JT, he's going to have to find another thing there. As a coach, I would just lean towards some uncomfortable activities, like shake up the lineup, put a guy in the spot where he hates to hit, run some guys that don't normally run. Just green light some really aggressive play. And at the end of the day, we can say we lost the game because we were reckless, not because we let the inevitable swallow us up.
No, yeah, 100%. With the old saying, when slump busting, you got to go ugly, go ugly early. I think that's what we got to do here. Let's muck it up early. Let's and I for the most part, obviously we record this on Wednesday. I feel like we discuss that every week, but last night's game on Tuesday, Dansby gets on, I believe, in the second, maybe the third inning. We steal second, which, let's talk about this. Maybe Dansby might be the fastest Cub. He runs out a routine ground ball to short. That wasn't even close. Oh. Runs that out, steals second, and what do we do with it?
Nothing.
So, and that's exactly what I thought we were doing. I thought, here we are, second, third inning. Let's make it ugly. Let's steal a base. Let's bunt him over. Let's hit a deep fly ball here. That's not fun, right? It's not sexy.
Yeah.
But and I think that's what we have to do. I think early in the games, let's just score ugly runs.
Sure.
And see if we can get ourselves out of a slump here. The thing to me is I don't really see much different being tried. I did hear the broadcast last night was that, and what's funny is he took so much crap online about, Cubs Twitter's hilarious anyway, but about Tucker saying that he took batting practice for the first time this year.
Yeah.
And everybody was hammering him. That can't be right. You're telling me he's just now taking batting practice? Well, he's trying something different.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. Like
Yeah.
the guy normally goes in, he takes care of business, he does his stuff off a tee, he
Mhm.
doesn't take BP on the field, and
Right.
he's going through it, and so he took BP on the field. Like, and everybody's like overreacting, crazy. Like, I was glad to see he's doing something different, shaking it up a little bit.
Please do. Yeah. And then to piggyback off of the Tucker deal, then he shows the emotion and lets the helmet rip up the tunnel. Fantastic. So hey, we're seeing that. This is a fight, and I think we forgot that. Every pitch is a battle. And when you get 500-600 at bats in a year, it's easy to give some of those fights away. I think at this point we're now realizing that we don't have any more to give away. And this is a hard one to do because it's hard to just switch on when your routines are your routines at this point, and it's very difficult. So all we're looking for is exactly what you're saying. Muck it up, have a little fight, get up off the mat, and let's just not lose pitches. I feel like we're just flailing up there. There's no approach. And with all the metrics that we have, Neil, you'd think that we would have hitters that would just have a better plan as the year went on. And really the only one that's getting better from that perspective, we'll talk about in a little bit, is Matt Shaw. But we're not improving. The approaches aren't getting better. We're still swinging at the same stuff. The scouting reports really haven't changed too much on the Cubs this year, and that's frustrating.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, Cavalry is coming. Assad, Amaya, Porter Hodge, and Jamison Taillon look to be back within the next, I believe Amaya is back. Assad threw last night.
Right.
I say Amaya's back. He hasn't had an at bat, but he's in the dugout, and I believe we're right there with JMO coming back. I think he's got his last start maybe today in Iowa before he comes back. The only wild card there is Porter Hodge.
Right.
What are your thoughts about the Cavalry coming, and is that really a thing?
Oh, I mentioned this to you last night. Were we really that hard up for innings? I mean, we just had an off day, and now it's like, oh, well, Javi's available. Shoot, let's just let him go run out there, which I would have loved to see him have maybe one more start in AAA. But they wanted him there. So why were we doing it, though? I don't know. Does Javi have enough in the tank for us to be there? Were they banking on him being some sort of like a trade acquisition, if you will? I'd say 50-50. He's an innings eater. I don't know what kind of impact he's going to have on the playoff roster, if I'm going to be perfectly honest.
That's my first note. The first thing I said on my notes was Assad and Taillon give you innings, but does that fix anything?
No, and we're not in the type of year that to just soak up innings. We don't have a 9-game lead where we can just soak up 5 innings from and 6 earned from somebody just giving it up on a Saturday. We don't have that luxury anymore. So my biggest thought is which one of these 4 will have the biggest impact down the stretch in your mind?
Amaya.
Because they're going to be here, right? They're here.
Yeah, I think Miguel Amaya is going to be the biggest factor. I think it goes beyond the flexibility of him as a catcher and adding a third option. I think it goes beyond that. I think he is somewhat of a veteran presence. I think he's a leadership role in the dugout. But man, as far as the Assad and JMO eating up innings, the other thing is I just don't know. And I hate this, man. I hate it because you would not 2 months ago have thought this or said this, but I just don't know that Hodge is ready for any leverage moments at this point.
And he's going to have to show, at this point, he's going to be one of the September call-ups. He's got to throw some clean innings down in Iowa. I think he had one clean one last time he was out, but before that, he was giving up runs again. He's going to have to clean that up down there. As far as his impact is concerned, if he wants to even make it to September call-up at this point. I don't think they're going to rush him back. The bullpen isn't where they're trying to soak up innings. They just put Brown in there, clearly. So they've got another guy in there that's going to soak up those innings, which phenomenal job by him last night. How about get scratched at 2:00 and new game plan, you're going to be first relief. So good on him for keeping his mental wits about him on that. And honestly, that's his role. That's where he's best at right now, is just throw him till the zeros stop.
Yeah.
Just come in. Oh, there's a fire. Great. Strike this guy out. We need you to come in here and just make this kid whiff. And then we'll just keep throwing you until you look like you're in trouble, and then we'll change it. And I hope they're figuring that out. I really do, because I think he's a weapon. More so than these other couple three that we're talking about right now, honestly, for the Cubs, as far as impact.
Yeah. Okay, the Happ Effect. Are the Cubs better with Ian Happ leading off?
Tucker's stats say so.
What about doesn't the Cubs record also say so?
Sure. I think it does marginally. It's leveling off here, but I think what he brought to the table, what Ian does at the top of the lineup is bring a trust factor. Okay. If you put a guy like PCA up there, the first three pitches, if they're good, he's wailing. And if they're bad, he's wailing. So he doesn't really give you a good read for what the stuff is. If Ian jumps on a pitch, even if he is out in front of something and he jumps on a pitch in the first three pitches of an at-bat, he knows, everybody else knows that this guy's gettable. Now we just have to figure out how we get on time, right? I think Ian sets the table much better from that perspective. I think Michael Busch is more of an ambush type leadoff hitter when he's been successful. First couple of pitches, hits it hard somewhere or out of the park. But that doesn't really give everybody else a good read for what's happening in this lineup. That's Ian's benefit to me.
Yeah, I don't, the question, is he getting on base enough to justify hitting the leadoff spot?
Mm-hmm.
Does he settle the lineup a little bit? And how does it impact Nico, Busch, and PCA? And I just feel like as a team,
mm-hmm.
The first half of the year, I mean, I think there is no argument. The Cubs pre-All-Star break are better than the Cubs post-All-Star break.
Yeah.
I don't think that's up for debate. And pre-All-Star break, there was one thing. The lineup shuffled all the time. Every night was somebody different. Whether it was Michael Busch wasn't playing, it was Matt Shaw's not playing, it was Matt Shaw sent down to Iowa, it was, it was Birdie at third, it was Bruhan at third. I mean, I think we threw everybody in at third at some point to try and find a fit while Shaw was down. But like, in all seriousness, the one consistent part of the lineup was that Ian Happ was leading off.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think, I don't know, man. Like, I think you got to go back there. We gotta run it back and just see if maybe we can strike gold again.
Well, if you truly believe Ian Happ's numbers are going to level off, he's due for a 2 to 3 week run here of just 2 to 3 times on base a night, whether that's a knock or a walk. So if that's what you're betting on as far as the Cubs are concerned, it would make a lot of sense to go ahead and bet on his hot streak and slide him right back into the leadoff position. Do you feel like Craig has the pulse of that lineup right now after tinkering for 3.5 months now? Do you believe Craig has a good feel for how this lineup is really going to flow?
No, because I don't think I think there's one. Here's the thing. I think there's one steady factor in the lineup that when you get on the bus and you take the ride to the park, there's one spot in that lineup where you absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt what you're going to get that day. And that's Nico.
What spot in the lineup is that?
Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 7.
Sometimes it's 9.
That's all I'm saying is that no matter where he's at, he's the only one that that day, this is what I'm going to get out of him. I'm going to get him competing in every freaking pitch.
My biggest problem with that is I don't still think that Craig has utilized him and that approach in this lineup at all. He didn't park him in the 5 whenever everything was kind of he just shoved Dansby in there and hoped for the best. And he stubbornly did that. The shakeup to put Nico in the leadoff to work against lefties a little better, understandable. But he's so pluggable. Unfortunately, he's forgettable. It's like, oh well, okay, yeah, we'll put him there. And they don't really build around him and his consistency. Do you think that maybe Matt Shaw's benefiting from that because he's been hugged with his innings a lot and having to watch a lot of Nico at bats? Do you feel like Matt Shaw has benefited from Nico's adjustments and approach?
No, I think Matt Shaw is in a bubble right now. Honestly, I think Matt is very much in a study mode. I think when he hits a home run, when he hits a double, when he legs one out, when he strikes out, when he grounds out, pops out, I think he goes immediately to the iPad and rewatches that at bat. And what did I do? And I think Matt Shaw right now is in tunnel vision mode. And I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I feel like Matt is a sponge and he is trying to, I think he's trying to emulate Nico, honestly. He's just trying to be the consistent professional every day. And I don't think we can ask for anything more. And, you know, Cody Del Mendo tweeted the other day that, like, that's my third baseman. Like, and I, like, it's funny to me that I think they put up a graphic the other day that I think the Cubs, since the All-Star break, the starting pitching, this is hilarious. Yeah. The starting pitching has like the third lowest ERA since the All-Star break.
Yep.
Or starters. And I think something like second or third highest WAR is third base. Matt Shaw.
Yeah.
And what are the two positions? What are the two positions everybody's yelling about us not addressing during the trade deadline?
Sure. Starting pitching.
And third base. So I think maybe, we can all yell at Jed for not making moves, and we can yell at Carter for talking about 2032. We can all yell about all that stuff. But while we're yelling at that stuff, we need to keep in mind that the two things that everybody that's yelling wanted addressed are the only two things showing up right now.
Yeah.
So if you want to yell at something, yell at the pros who are supposed to be extending at bats, who are supposed to be, we didn't score, but the second inning last night was a textbook baseball inning because I think we took that dude like 45 pitches in one inning.
Yeah, there was a lot of fight there. There was a lot of fight. There was just not a lot of cashing in last night. I felt like that was there. It was frustrating. It was a benign game in the end. It felt very benign because we just couldn't get anything done. And sometimes you just have to look at that. The problem is that there were several key instances late where it was like, just get a hit. Just get a hit. And, that it kind of leads us to where we're at kind of in this middle of our Shaw conversation. One of the things that I think Matt Shaw has done from the beginning was what he was trying to do. I'm just trying to get a hit. He's not trying to murder the ball. He's not trying to launch the ball. He doesn't sit on his back leg and everybody thinks, oh, the big leg. All that guy has done is just try to be a good hitter. And you see what he's done from, if you go look at his, in Mesa, his stance to what he's doing now, that's a professional just changing slowly. And we're watching it change and he's adjusting to what's going on. Meanwhile, everybody else in the lineup, you tweeted this last night, outside of Nico, just stands there and does the same dang thing every at bat and hopes that things are going to be different. And that's why Matt Shaw is running hot right now, because he's figured some things out. Now, is it going to level off? Absolutely, because they're going to pick on something else that they found, and he's going to have to go back to the lab. But he's willing to be a good hitter, and I love to see that.
Yeah, I think you have an anchor in the middle of the lineup, and that's Nico. And I think you have an anchor in the bottom of the lineup. I think that's Matt Shaw. And we kind of sailed right into this topic, hey, Shawty. But I think now we've just got to get whoever's going to bat leadoff, whoever it is, and Tucker and Saya have got to produce. Like, they have to produce. And that's where we are. Like, that's,
especially if Magic 8 Cole Danzy. Your 7, 8, 9 could potentially the strongest in the league right now.
No, I mean, that's where it was last night. We're sitting here talking about how good the second half or the second inning was, and it was the 7, 8, 9 hitter absolutely compete their ass off. And then we get bases loaded, no outs. Here comes the top of the lineup, Michael Busch, strikeout. Kyle Tucker, I don't remember if it was 3 strikeouts in a row, but it was Busch, Tucker, and Seiya. Nothing to
Non-competitive.
show for it.
Right. It's
But we got a quality helmet toss.
we did. I mean, that's great. It's really good. The good news is that Matt Shaw's learning how to be more damaging as he's going. You've seen the lift since the All-Star break. So yeah, I think we're looking at more of a sustainable future for Matt Shaw. And the best part is we don't have to worry about it in the end. We don't have to worry about it. He's going to make the changes. He's not going to stand there and give you 300 at bats in a row of the same dang thing. He's going to work on that. And if that's the kind of player he has to be, and he's super tunnel vision, as you mentioned, that he's just sponging himself, and he's very cerebral, then great. He doesn't have to be the gregarious superstar that Pete wants to be. He could just be the guy that shows up every day and gets his jersey dirty, and we're going to love him for it.
Yeah. Okay, the baseline. I'm going to need you to translate this because I have no idea what any of this means. But Baseball Tonight says the Cubs have established a new baseline this season, and that's why they didn't make any major moves at the deadline. Buy or sell?
I buy it.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm buying a little bit of that. Honestly, we're kind of doing our little crossover segment here. So as I'm watching this, and I think it was Jesse Rogers who was saying it, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I want to like yell at the TV, because he's basically saying that the Tucker move only cost them a limited dollar amount, but they established that they can get a superstar for a minimal prospect, and that's kind of what it cost them. And with that has transformed them into their 90-win team at a budget that's below what everybody expects them to be spending. Essentially, what Tom hired Jed to do was run a business. And that business is baseball. That business needs to be entertaining, and it needs to be under budget, and it needs to be profitable for Tom. And that's what Jed was hired to do. We forget that part. Yes, he does baseball things, but he's not a baseball guy. He's just running a baseball business. So that entire segment was about the fact that we have a baseball business that isn't really established anything more than we just can win 90 games. Their mindset is 5 years of profitability, not 5 years of probably a World Series. How do you feel about that approach?
Yeah, I mean, to me, yeah. So the approach to be good every year, like I like that approach. Like we want to be good, we want to be competitive every year.
Yeah.
But I think when you get there, i.e. this year, you go into the All-Star break, I think 3 games up. At one point, we're 6.5 games up. Maybe we were only a game and a half at the All-Star break. But that's the time you gotta push your chips in. Like, just what does history say about winning the division? Like, that opportunity doesn't knock every single year. Like 30 clubs. I don't care what people say. I don't care what coaches say. I don't care what motivational speakers want to say. There's not 30 clubs that show up to spring training who think they're going to play in October.
Nope.
Like, there's no one on that Rockies roster that thought, hey, we can string together a couple 11-game win streaks and compete for the division here. There's nobody that thought that. And
Right.
if they did, they probably should not be in baseball. So the thing is, as Cubs fans, we have to kind of step back and know, like, we are in that conversation every year. Like the last 3 years, 83 wins. Like, your 90 wins puts you in the playoffs if the magic formula is correct. If 90 wins puts you in October, then we're 7 bad hops, 7 bad calls, 7 bad,
right.
Every year. That's something half the franchises in baseball can't say.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, the stadium's selling out every night.
Yeah. every once in a while, the business leaks into the mainstream, right? It typically surrounds trade deadline like this, or like a free agent signing like the Bregman deal, but also then you get the Carter Hawkins in the booth. That foot in the mouth is coming every time. I mean, he's 2 for 2. He's been in the booth twice this year, and he spouted off about the blue jersey profits the first time, and now he's talking about.
Oh, that was Crane Kenny.
Was that Crane? Oh, my bad. Yeah. That's right. Sorry, that's Crane. So one of those guys is going to put the foot
either way.
It doesn't matter. Somebody's going to just say one sentence too much that's going to push the buttons of the rest of us who are fans and realize that while you guys might be passionate about it, they are just working their job, and their job is not to entertain me. Their job is to mildly entertain me occasionally by wins and losses. There's both, and they still get paid the same either way, even though my attitude changes, right? So Jed's whole goal is just to build a 90-win team where he can overperform and be under budget. That's it. That's the mentality that we have. I wish that there was a case that chips would be pushed in, as you mentioned earlier. Are you okay, though, as we kind of wrap this up here? Honestly, the reality here, Neil, is this. Was the cost of business in this window too high, regardless of whether we were willing to push the chips in or not?
Yeah, 100%. I think we'd be sitting here in the same situation, because here's the deal. What everybody really want was a big starting pitcher, right? Let's go out and get this big starting pitcher who can go out and throw you a win every 5th day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you want to give up? You want to give up the minor league franchise for a starter that's gonna play every 5th day? Like, the price was too high, and I'm okay with not paying it, because as we kind of let off the show with, post All-Star break, the Cubs have the 3rd lowest starting pitching ERA in baseball, if the marquee graphic was right the other night.
Yeah. I have to be honest in this situation. I'm okay with being entertained, even if it pisses me off a lot. That's what we are as fans now. We have to realize that. There's their job, and they get paid to do that. I'm okay with we're a 90-win team every single year. But we got to be able to pull the trigger when it's there. That's what I'm waiting for. So if we're in a window right now and they said, well, the cost of doing business is too expensive, we looked at the situation, and quite honestly, Neil, had we pulled the trigger for a Gore or a Ryan, and the Brewers don't lose but 4 games for the rest of the year, what is it really worth anyway?
But that's exactly my point. Like, we're talking about who's the one guy you would have sold the entire Iowa Cubs for? Paul Skeens?
Skeens.
Yeah, he just got the. I mean, did anybody watch that game last night? Like,
yeah, it was not great.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you're these elite guys that you would give up the franchise for are no guarantee anyway. Like how about that? How about if we would have just absolutely given up all of 10 guys for Paul Skeens? He walks in the door, and the next week the Brewers hang 9 on him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
people lost their minds a lot. No,
absolutely.
We're in a weird window. We're super competitive. We are very good. If this is the baseline of what we're committed to as far as this payroll, and then building from that and proving that we can consistently be in this range, I guess we have to be okay with that, because we're not deferring any money to Kingdom Come. We're not splashing cash on guys that we don't feel there. So this is what we're doing. Okay, we said extend Jed. I was one of the first ones to say it. We should extend Jed so he can get this done. I hope that within his business plan, he did have the gradual stepping up of the salary cap, not due to inflation, but just the cost of doing business, and giving himself a little bit more budget. You know, like, hey, Tom, like, I'm going to need a little bit more money here to go play ball. So hopefully Tom's willing to do that.
Okay, so we've spent way too much time on this topic. So our topic of the week is summer revival. We got an 8-game homestand. The Pirates and the Brewers coming down can the Cubs stage a big tent revival and save what's left of this season? I think you tweeted yesterday, I think there's only 4 off days left in the season. Like, it's time to put up or shut up, and the Pirates and the Brewers coming to town. What's your preview? What do you got? What do you expect to see?
Well, I'm going to be really clear with this one. I don't care what happens leaving Canada. I don't care what happens in the Pirate series. I'll go on record and say that right now. I'm even though I'm going to bitch about it tonight and this weekend, I'm going to do that. But it's 100% about the Brewers right now. We're going to play this like it's a playoff series the whole week. That's what I want to see. I want to see this. I want to win that series at all costs. Momentum doesn't matter. How about just a firm ass kicking to remind them it doesn't matter if it's a short series or a long series. We can beat you in any day, anytime, and we'll see you in October.
No, I absolutely like it. I'm on the flip side. I do care about Toronto, and I do care about Pittsburgh. I would like to win both of those series. I tell you what, I would love, we're down 7.5 games. I would love to go into the Brewers series only down 5 games and have a 4-game series and see where we end up. That's where I would like to be. I don't know that that's possible. I think we would have to sweep the Pirates, and I think we'd have to win the last 2 here in Toronto, and I think they'd have to lose several games for that to happen. Pat Murphy's got too many pocket pancakes to make that situation a reality. But I think that's what I would like to see. That's if I had my cake and could eat it too. I would really like to be 5 games down going into a 4-game homestand against the Brewers. Again, I think that's wishful thinking, but that's where I want to be. That's where I would like to be.
I'd like to just see some consistency out of the lineup. That's it. Until then, I really do. I just want to see some guys getting good at bats. Are we getting good at bats? Are guys getting in the right positions as far as that? Because we're not having good ABs right now. We're just not. So I'm not going to fight about it. I'm just going to watch them try to fight their way out of it. And then I want all the chips on a 5-game set, because I do believe, regardless of whether we win the division or not, we're going to be a playoff team. And at that point, that's what I care about. I want them to realize that in a 5-game set, they're going to have all they can handle with us. So that's what I want to leave this next week with. And I want to come back, next week and be talking about that.
I like it. Let's have a big finish to the road trip and a huge homestand, and let's let the chips fall where they may. So
there we go.
That is it for us. Thanks for joining us this week. Thanks for tuning in. However you get your podcast, be sure to subscribe, like, follow. We're on all social media platforms at Club 120 Show, and you can visit us on our website at club120show.com. That's our show for this week. Go Cubs, go.
Go Cubs, go.
This has been Club 120. Neil and Nate have practically spent their entire lives doing something centered around baseball. And with these guys, you're going to get quick-hitting, time-answer segments packed with wit, laughs, and, yes, heated debates. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, you can find us on all social media platforms at Club 120 Show. And, of course, the website at www.club120show.com. Until next time, go Cubs, go!